What's up, everybody? My name is Sadie with Quiet Waters Realty Group, and this month for our small business shout out, we are hanging out with Bridget Leiviska and Sundial Coffee and Tea. Bridget's going to walk us through her small business operation and all of the wonderful things that Sundial offers to our community. Hi, Bridget.
Hey,
thanks for having us.
Thank you. So happy you're here.
I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Got your coffee.
Perfect. That's how I like it.
Well, thank you for joining us. I'm so excited to finally sit down and hear all about your story and your business adventures. So thank you so much for taking the time. And we'll start off with a cheers.
Perfect. Well, thank you for inviting me. We're super excited to get to do this with you guys.
Absolutely. And just take me through the journey. So I want to learn all about you and how you got your start. So where are you from? Tell me anything from like day one to
All right. So a quick backstory. I'm originally from Indianapolis, Indiana. My husband and I both grew up there. We met in our college church, the college group at our church.
Okay.
And within a couple of years, we were married. And since then, we have lived in Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
We moved back to Indiana for a couple of years in Fort Wayne, Indiana at that point. Then his job took us to Roanoke, Virginia, where we lived for 12 years. That we really settled in there. We bought our first house. We had our 2 children. And so those 12 years in Roanoke were super special. So fast forward to 2011, we moved out here due to my husband's job again. And continued homeschooling, met a wonderful group of friends. We joined Scotts Hill Baptist Church, where my husband is now the missions pastor at that church. So our community, our family, and our homeschool group pretty much for most of the time that early time here in Wilmington area was, caught up in that whole church family, homeschool family. I had this sweet little bubble for a long time.
Very cool. Everyone needs a sweet bubble.
Yes, it was sweet. And then my kids grew up and they graduated. So I started looking for something to do outside the home. I'm super extroverted. And then I heard that 4 C's Java, which was a tiny coffee shop up in Holly Ridge, I heard they were hiring. And so I went into 4 C's Java and, asked for the job as a barista, and I was hired, minimum wage, but thrilled to be working, and loved making coffee, loved the whole thing. Well, within a month, the manager had to resign due to some issues with, taking care of her children.
Okay.
So she left, and I became the manager.
Wow.
And then
Great
great promotion. And then from there, within like 3 or 4 months, the owner of the coffee shop was ready to sell it.
Wow.
And so she just asked me one day, it was around Christmas time, she said, "Would you like to buy the coffee shop?" And I'm like, how does one buy a coffee shop? Like, I don't even know what that means. Yeah, where do we start with this? And so so that began this whole Sundial journey.
Okay.
So that's kind of what got us to Sundial at that point. So when this particular space became available, we quickly jumped on it and got it renovated and
growing every day.
Yes. And so now we've been in this location for about a month.
That is amazing.
Yep.
Well, it's taken off. I've heard many, many great things, and this has been a huge part of our business and our development as a team. So you really are a staple in this community.
Thanks.
You've had a really, really incredible journey. So
Oh,
that's awesome to hear it from day one.
Yep.
That's very cool.
That's kind of the fast forward. Right.
Wow. So take me through that learning experience and like some of the obstacles and some of the values that you still
So
keep.
it was a lot of learning all at once, but I'm super thankful. My husband, like I said, he is the missions pastor at our church, but he's also super business minded. And when I came to him with this idea, the first thing he said is, I've always wanted to own my own business. And if you want to run the coffee shop up front, I'm happy to help you with like the books. And he has Fridays off. And so a lot of times he comes in, he does, the banking for us and helps me out with any, accounting issues and bookkeeping and all those kinds of things. So he really, when it comes to the back end of the business, he's really taken a lot of that off my plate.
Well, it takes a village, right?
Yes, exactly. So that's been amazing. But I get to do all the front end, which I love because, I'm a people person anyway. So to get to spend my day talking with people and visiting and and because we are such a small community, I have so many regulars. So I'm really getting to know them.
And what did you take from those few months that you're still integrating into your business now?
Yeah, so the main thing I learned was coffee, how to make good coffee and what all the different because I would get lattes at Starbucks and like everybody else and and but I didn't really know all of the intricacies of what goes into the science of coffee.
Right.
And it is so intricate. I had no idea until I started getting into this. Dosing
it's
espresso.
An art and a science and chemistry.
It is all of that.
Right.
And luckily I've had a lot of people who have come beside me and even customers that will give me tips, and I'm just a learner. I like to learn new things, and I'm never embarrassed to say I don't know how to do something.
Sure.
And so I just ask a lot of questions to help. So just the people around me is really how I've gotten through all the learning curves of all these things.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy you have a team, and they're very much a part of the success, and that's very cool. Now, one of my favorite things to walk in and see is that you, as the business owner, you have every right to be the smiling face at the door, but you are busting your butt behind the counter just like everybody else. So I can see your passion through the way that you work and the way that you interact with your customers and your employees, and I appreciate watching that as a customer too.
Good.
So I always feel like I'm walking into someone's living room.
Yay! That's exactly how we want it to. Thank you. That's how we want it to feel. Sure. Honestly, I love working behind the bar. I love making the drinks, but and it's nice. My baristas know that if I'm out here talking to customers, they will just fill in all the gaps and do it. Like, they know that that's a priority to me.
And it's a part of the business.
Yes, it's a big part of the business. It's like, me sitting out here talking with you guys when you come in on Thursday mornings is more important than me getting the drinks out fast.
Sure.
So, and my staff knows that, and they appreciate that. So, they all know, like, she's not going to come make a drink if she's in the middle of chatting with somebody. And so that, I just love the freedom I have to not feel guilty about that. Right. That I can, spend all day out here chatting and the drinks will get made. So it's great. Yeah.
And, that kind of brings me into my next point. What do you feel like Sundial brings to the community, or I guess, how does it embody the word community? Okay.
Well, what I have done in planning this particular space was trying to make it available for all types of people.
Okay.
So like this out front areas for people who want to be out here. They want to sit and have all the noise and the interactions that come along with a coffee shop, to interact with the people that are coming in and out. But I also wanted it to be a place where kids could come and study. Sure. Adults could, crank out some work. And so we created this little business bar, is what we're calling it, because I haven't come up with anything better. And there's an outlet for every single person that sits there.
It's very convenient.
Yep. And if you put your earbuds in, you can sit there and get your work done in any amount of time.
Typed a few this bar already.
Good. But then we've also created a meeting space, which I know Quiet Waters has been enjoying even when we were in our old location, but it's even better now. So there's a conference table, a smart TV and all that, so that people can come in. They can do, like business meetings like what you all do. There's been a women's Bible study that's met in there. Just anything that you might need to meet with a group of people, you can meet in there. But then my favorite room, a lot of people don't even get all the way back there, but there's another room right through there, and we call that the family room. So there's a sofa and a game table and some games, a big TV. And so I just want that to be a place where, especially on weekdays, where stay-at-home moms can come in, bring all their kids, let them make a mess,
enjoy coffee.
Sit and enjoy coffee, and their children can, play, and to be a safe place to bring their kids when they're noisy. Like, I just want to be welcoming and have everybody, and no matter what stage of life that they're in, feel comfortable and have a place that they feel like they belong in here. So if you come in and look at our monthly specials, the one that has a little sea turtle next to it, if you order that, just know that $1 will go to the sea turtle.
Oh my goodness, I had no idea.
Yeah.
That is so good to know.
Yeah.
That's a great way to, again, incorporate community and give back.
Yeah. I think there's a couple other places that are doing it as well. Salty Turtle has a similar thing, and so does Daddy Max. I think there's a cocktail that they do, and maybe one other place at the north end of the island.
Okay.
So I'm hoping more.
So look out for the turtles.
Yes, look for a turtle and find out how you can give $1 to the Sea Turtle Hospital.
It's
very neat.
So I know you recently moved locations. Do you want to highlight some of the things that you've added to the space? And I know we talked about the business bar a little bit, but I also see the window out front.
So I mean, the number one upgrade that I was determined to get was to get all these outlets, which I've already mentioned. Because I don't know if you remember, but my old place, it was one table with one outlet, and everybody would walk in and be like, it's taken. So nobody has to fear of not having an outlet here. Then the second thing that happened that was so exciting is we have 2 bakeries that have provided our baked goods for quite a while. Cravings out of Wilmington makes all of our gluten-free vegan treats. So she delivers every Monday, and we try to keep keep them here through Saturday, but they sometimes sell out earlier in the week. But secondly, we have Pretty Baked, which used to be Pretty Baked Cookies, because all she did was decorated sugar cookies and drop cookies, and she had a bakery in Sneads Ferry, tiny little bakery.
Yes.
And so she delivered to the old shop as well. And her cookies sold out within a couple of days. Every time she delivered, people would go crazy over them. So when we were moving locations, I asked Brianna if she would like to maybe move in with me, and we'll put a bakery in the back. Exactly. Like, want to move in together? She's got her bakery here now,
I
and
love
she
it.
does.
You can see it in action.
Yes.
Clear window. You can see the where the magic happens.
Exactly.
Right?
So the little kids have a little step. They can step up there and watch her decorate the cookies.
So does she also teach the cookie decorating class?
She teaches cookie decorating classes.
Okay.
Yep. And so I think she's trying to plan to have a cookie decorating class the third Friday of every month.
Well, sign me up, because baking is not my specialty, so I might as well be good at decorating.
Exactly.
What other people have baked.
Exactly. It's really fun. I've been to her decorating class, and I'm not great at it, but I had fun doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's kind of like going to a wine and design.
Sure.
But it's coffee and cookie decorating, so it's great.
Equally important.
Yeah, exactly.
So what advice do you have for anybody in any stage of life that is interested in opening their own business, or starting from scratch, or even just hopping into a new career?
Yeah. Well, my first question would be, how much do you love that thing? You know, if you love that thing, then you should go for it. Like, what's the worst thing that can happen? What is the worst thing that can happen? Don't wait for it, because to spend a lifetime in a career that you're not happy in is just no way to live. So I'm really fortunate that I had a husband who was willing to support me in it. Financially, he was able to help us out through the really lean times, and so I was really blessed with that. And I know not everybody has that opportunity, but if you can and you're able, take a risk and live your life doing something you love.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And do you feel like owning a small business has become your entire identity, or are you still able to remove yourself sometimes? Or?
Yeah, I would say a big bulk of it.
Sure.
I really would. I'm just going to be
thing,
honest. That's why you got to love it.
Yeah.
But I still do have, a husband and 2 children that I get to spend time with. So my son is a Marine now, down in New River.
For his service.
Yes, I will. But he's at New River, so I'm the most lucky Marine mom ever, because he gets to come home for dinner on Friday nights if he wants to. It's fabulous. I love it. So he's just right down the street. So yeah, a lot of times, I get to see him on the weekends, and then my daughter's at school in Chapel Hill. And so, she'll come home she's coming home tonight. So, I'm an empty nester, but I'm pretty spoiled because I see them quite often.
You have all of us kids now.
And now I have all these kids. I have all my coffee shop kids. I know, exactly.
And all these cookies.
So the nice thing is that this whole coffee shop experience started happening about a year before they were officially leaving the house.
Okay.
And so I was already busy, and because I homeschooled them. Like, they were my whole life. Like, I was saturated in those 2 children, and so I really, really was afraid what empty nest would look like. Most of the years I was homeschooling. I'm like, my mom even was like, I don't know how you're going to handle it. I'm like, I know, I don't either. But I'm just so thankful that God allowed this opportunity, because I'm just so busy now, and I'm so happy and fulfilled. And when I see them, they come here, they come straight here when they can and see me here. So when I see them walk in the door, it's just,
I'm sure they're very proud of you.
It's so wonderful. I just feel very blessed right now in
cool.
this empty nest stage of life that could have been, sad and a little bit depressing. Has not been at all. It's been great.
The key word that I took is fulfilled, and I think that you fully diving into this business, but also welcoming a whole team and regulars, but also tourists that are coming seasonally. I think that you've built an even bigger family than maybe you've ever
Exactly. It is amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
Super happy.
I also want to rewind it back to when you first took over the original coffee shop, and that was your first business that you've owned, correct?
Yep.
So is this today, where we are, is this what you ever envisioned, or has this just continuously grown?
It is the most surreal thing in the world. I really can't believe it. I still sometimes walk in here, I'm like, this is a dream. I seriously can't believe it. I seriously just thought I was just going to be, a barista, getting to meet people, and the fact that we have just continued to be blessed in this community, and the way that this community has supported our business, has loved on me personally. poured into me, helped me learn things that I didn't know how to do, gave me grace when I screwed it up. Like it's the only way that I can say I'm just amazed.
Right.
It's really been great. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yep.
A big thanks to Sundial Coffee and Tea for joining us for another small business shout out. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and drop in the comments who you think Quiet Waters should interview next month for our next small business shout out. Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you so much.